Hello and welcome back to XCOM. I'm still your commander and I forgot that 2 is less than 8. Let's get started. So for the curious, that's where the alien base is located. It looks like it's somewhere in Cuba, or at least just off the coast of Venezuela. So like I said, I left my keys in my other pants, so we can't get to there until we get the skeleton keys. So for now, it's best idea is just to go pick up a Skyder from his playdate in China. And as I said, if I don't do that, I will unfortunately lose that soldier. So that's one thing I really like about the Exalt missions, where you kind of have to plan ahead that if you can't do the mission in a week, then you probably just need to let it ride. Anyway, I will be leaving Amp off the team for now and bringing along Synox in his debut mission in his brand new mech suit. So again, I am sorry that I didn't give you the flamethrower, but I think you'll be very pleased with how the kinetic strike module worked out in this mission.
Strike one. Prepare for landing. We're heading into China for the next operation. Exalt has a cell working from inside their borders. Strike one will provide cover while our operative acquires the Exalt intelligence we're after. Exalt forces spooked one of our field operatives who was attempting to recover new intelligence by hacking an Exalt comm relay. Strike one is going in to ensure the operative is covered while decrypting the data from the remaining relays. We have to keep that operative alive if we're going to recover the remaining intel. Objectives updated.
Alright, so first mission where we're not fighting against aliens, we're actually fighting against other human enemies. As you can see, Skyder is on the other side of the map, and his goal is to hack two of those sort of radar dish comm relay units. Unfortunately, he can't get to one of them right off the bat, and as of course there are pods of enemies lurking around, I can't exactly move them just yet, so probably best to move my better equipped soldiers up and see what I can find out. And Max, of course, living up to his reputation of being the first to trigger every single enemy pod at the worst possible times. Welcome to Exalt. Two regular assault troopers, the ones with the assault rifles, and an Exalt Heavy with the LMG and the rocket launcher. As you might be able to guess, assault troopers are basically identical to XCOM soldiers, and the Heavy is pretty much the same as a low-ranked XCOM Heavy. So it really is similar to fighting against other XCOM operatives. However, they obviously will not have a lot of the same abilities or armor or weapons that we do. However, going forward, they will start to get some unique abilities that's going to make it really difficult to fight against them. So first things first, let's get Synox forward. Unfortunately, with mech units, they really don't have the best chance to hit anything. As you can see here, it's a coin flip to hit most of these guys, and only a 30% chance to hit the guy in full cover. So first ability of the mech is collateral damage, which is a rather small AoE effect, but it'll do guaranteed 2 damage to anything in the area, and will destroy a lot of their cover. So I'll do that right now. Unfortunately, that light pole will still remain active. The light pole right there will not be destroyed, so they will still get some cover. Should be safe enough to send Skyder forward now, because I think that's the only enemy pod on that side of the warehouse. But for now, I'll just leave it with the better equipped soldiers, because Skyder doesn't even have the Kevlar armor on, so he will be very vulnerable to any damage. So Alien Grenade will take out that normal trooper and do some heavy damage to that Heavy, so I'll just have Max throw his grenade right now. And one good thing about using explosive against Exalt is they will not drop any weapon fragments, because obviously they don't have any alien weapons, so it's perfectly okay to use as many explosives as you want. There's no downside to it, and as obviously you're not going to be taking back their corpses to your facility, again, you can pretty much do whatever you want. So I'd really like to peg that 1 HP guy before I take out the full HP guy with the assault. So that's why I'm slowly moving my other troopers forward. So while I would like to get the hit with Cecil in, because he should have the better aim with his pistol, I'm just moving the rest of my soldiers forward to try and provide extra shots, because I would like to take this pod out on the first turn. I was honestly also kind of hoping for squad sight, but unfortunately this big bunch of barrels is blocking his line of sight. So we'll have to rely on his pistol. Should be a pretty good chance to hit the Heavy, and obviously I'm not too worried about how much damage. He only has 1 HP left, and Cecily manages to nail it and get a promotion in the process. So far, I gotta say, on this run, my soldiers aren't the best at hitting the shots that they should, but they tend to come through in a clutch, so I'm not too worried that I'm going to end up with a squad wipe sooner or later. We'll use rapid fire against this guy because I only should have to hit once to kill him in one hit, so 244s is roughly equal to 88% chance to hit, and of course he's not going to get that because that's XCOM. So obviously a terrible chance to hit with our other heavy, so we'll just Overwatcher. I'm kind of hoping that's Trooper's going to make a super move forward and I could maybe take him out with a better to hit reaction shot. Skyder, meanwhile, will just leapfrog him up through cover and try and keep his head down. Yeah, really awful chance to hit with Dradlin as well, and there's no guarantee that it's going to kill him. I am thinking right now about a smoke grenade, at least to increase the defense of a couple of my forward soldiers, but I can't hit both Helen and Drad with the smoke grenade, so I decided Overwatch is probably the better idea. I'm really hoping this guy will move. Unfortunately, he just decides to go for the shot on Cynox, and he does miss, thankfully. You don't have to worry too much about how much damage Exalt can do, except of course for their rockets, because they're basically using weapons identical to our basic kinetic weapons, so there's really no danger that they're going to kill anybody. The biggest danger with Exalt is they always come in extremely large groups, and so they will you down just by sheer force of numbers eventually. And unfortunately, that move forward does not break his cover with a flanking move, so I will have to move a couple other soldiers forward and hope for the best. So far so good. I should be able to move Skyder up as soon as I take this guy up. I haven't found any other pods of Exalt troopers, and I know there's got to be at least one other. Probably on the other side of that warehouse, however. Holding a coin flip with Dradlin, unfortunately. However, he does manage to knock off 5 HP, so I should be able to clean him up with anything else. And Cynox, the collateral damage does use up double the normal amount of ammo, so his railgun is empty, as without the ammo conservation, mechs only get 2 shots per magazine. Skyder, meanwhile, I was going to see if maybe I could get a line of sight with him and take him out with his laser pistols. There's no way that he's not going to be able to kill him, because thanks to Gunslinger, he's got a bonus +2 damage, so even if he only did 1 HP worth, it would still add up to 3. Unfortunately, that boat was in the way, so he didn't get the chance to hit. Fortunately, Cecilin does have a squad sight on that guy finally, so we should be able to take him out with the sniper rifle. Not the best chance to hit. However, again, all my soldiers are pretty darn good coming through with a clutch, so that's one pod taken care of. So I should be able to get Skyder up to the relay on the next turn and hack it. So Max, meanwhile, will just have him keep watch inside of the warehouse and hopefully to the other side through the other windows and keep everybody fully loaded. So far so good. I don't see anything, so I'm feeling pretty good that I can move Skyder up through the boat to the relay. And I do believe that the other side of the warehouse is clear because, well, he didn't trigger anything while he was running by the window, so that's why I felt that I could move Max up a little bit more here in a second. And I'm just double checking to see where the other relay was, and it is on the roof, so Skyder's going to take more than a couple turns to get from the first one to that one on the roof, and then get him out to the Sky Ranger for evac. So I move Max from high cover to high cover. Unfortunately, that gets him line of sight on these guys. So the guy right in the middle with the cylinder strapped to his hip, that's actually an Exalt medic, and they do carry medkits that heal 4 HP, so they're pretty much identical to a rookie level XCOM support unit. And you won't see in this mission, but Exalt also has snipers, which are again identical to rookie level XCOM snipers, and the run-of-the-mill troopers, they are pretty much just XCOM rookies, only with a few more HP, and I don't think they have any ability beyond throwing a frag grenade. And there's no similarity to an XCOM assault. I still would think that would have been pretty cool, because getting away from a guy with a shotgun would have been very hectic. Unfortunately, there are no Exalt shotguns. Not the best chance to hit with the railgun, thanks to the half cover that Exalt Trooper has between him and us. So I'm going to try see if I can do something about that and take off a few of his HP at the same time. Still have plenty of alien grenades thanks to the tactical rigging, so I should be able to take that guy out easily enough. It's the other guys in full cover on the other side of the warehouse that I'm worried about. And I don't know if you can really see it, but if you see that sort of sparkly aura around Cynox, that's giving any unit in cover next to him that's on our side plus 10 defense, which is the distortion field that I mentioned when I first mech'd Cynox. And the main reason I'm trying to go over that after that guy by the pillar is that, as you can see, Skyder is flanked and he has no more moves, so as he only has 7 HP, I'm really worried that one hit could actually kill him. And I don't have running gun on my assault, so that was one more turn to cool down, so I'm going to send her to high cover over here and see if I can blow that guy away with an alien grenade. And in case you're wondering why I keep switching abilities on accident, that's because I like to use the arrow keys to move the camera, but if you go left and right on the arrow keys, it switches your ability, so it's better to do WASD. Thankfully, that does take out his cover, and I do have a flanking shot with Dradlin and with Cynox. Cecil, meanwhile, does have a bead on the other two guys. Pretty good chance to hit with Hill as well, but at this point I'm more worried about feeding kills to the mech, because I really want to get him level up as quickly as possible, so we will take this guy out. First time breaking double digits with damage, that's how awesome mechs are. So far so quiet. Not the best chance to hit anything with Cecil, unfortunately. I do decide to go for the 64% chance. Pretty good damage, but I would have preferred a one-hit kill. And we'll just see if we can maybe get those guys forward to us. And this shows off a little quirk of the AI of the Exalt medics. They will actually prioritize healing themselves pretty much over anything else. So if you wound one of them, they'll generally stay in the same spot and heal themselves rather than try and get into a better cover. And similar to the Finmen, the Exalt troopers do like to jump in at the worst of times.
Exalt's operatives in the field, and from the looks of them, Exalt is working quickly to integrate alien genetic material into their troops. Until we know the extent of their capabilities, I would advise extreme caution.
So Valen spoiling a little bit of something right there, but what's more important is that both my heavies missed that guy, so now everybody's flanked. However, by hacking one of these comm relays, and the covert operative is the only one who knows how to do this, that will actually force all Exalt operatives to reload their primary weapons before attacking with them on the next turn. So it basically forces them, except for other abilities or moving, to skip their turn, so I can clean up a few of these guys. So I'm going to focus on the ones that are currently flanking every single one of my units. So Cecil manages to nail that guy in the high cover.
No longer a threat.
And so it shouldn't be too hard to take out that other guy, but I would like to get Skyder closer to the other comm relay, so on the next couple turns I can move him up there and get them out of there as quickly as possible. Fortunately, I still have 3 units which have that Exalt heavy flanked, so we'll see if Max can clean this guy up. And even with reactive pupils, he can't hit the guy at a 90% chance to hit. He does catch him on the rebound, but still, that's not a one-hit kill like I was really hoping for. Skyder's got a really good chance with the laser pistol. Not great enough, apparently. So now I still have one guy left alive. He won't be able to attack, but I was really hoping to clean him up so I could just keep moving my troops forward. But right now I have to worry about kind of splitting my army up so I can both take out that guy as well as deal with the other 2 guys over here on the other side of the warehouse that are not flanked. So we'll start by moving Cynox forward, see if we can get a beat on the guy in half cover. Not the best chance to hit, unfortunately. He does manage to peg him off, and that's awesome damage.
Weapon system disengaged. No ammo.
I always kind of like how the mech troopers have that pseudo-robotic voice going on.
Going in for the kill.
Run and gun is cooled down, so I'll be moving our assault up there to try and lock down the comm relay just in case some Exalt troopers airdrop down on top of the building. And she should be able to provide cover support for Skyder once he gets up there. So far so good, especially considering the Exalt won't be able to fire on my troops this turn. However, old habits die hard, so I'm still keeping as cautious as I can. So I just end up putting my soldiers into Overwatch. I guess I was kind of thinking I'd really like to take them out with Skyder or something to try and feed kills to my weaker units. And again, as they're not going to fire, I'm not too worried. However, I probably should have just taken that guy out and have done with it. And believe it or not, he actually doesn't trigger any Overwatch, even though he moved in full line of sight of everybody. And with max out of ammo, there's not a whole lot you can do because I'm not really willing to waste a rocket on these guys. So I decided to just move him up and have him keep an eye on the left side of the warehouse here, just in case something decides to go after the assault on the rooftop, as well as Skyder's going to move up there now. At least after I get Helen out of his way on that side of the comm relay. In addition, by moving the covert operative basically from relay to relay, you can chain together Exalt skipping their turns, so you can pretty much run roughshod over their entire army, especially in the defense missions, which I'm really excited to show you guys pretty soon here. So far so good. We'll just leave our sealing troops to it. Meanwhile, Synox has a great opportunity to finally show off his kinetic strike module. Again, I'm really sorry I didn't give you the flamethrower, but I think he'll be very pleased with what's about to happen.
Closing to engage target.
Yeah, and that's why I love the kinetic strike module. There is literally no benefit to cover for dodging that. In fact, it cannot be dodged. It's a guaranteed 12 damage to whatever he hits, so it's pretty much a necessity on later missions, and Drad thankfully does clean up this guy.
I'm about to start keeping score.
Let's rock.
So now there's nothing else left on the field, so it's just a matter of passing the next turn until Skyder can hack that comm relay.
I'm rolling.
So let's move our sniper forward, just try and keep a lane of fire open on the left-hand side and keep a sniper rifle full.
Commander, we've got additional Exalt forces moving on the AO.
And I get kind of lucky here because they do drop right next to my assault that's on Overwatch, so she will knock a ton of HP off of this guy. So Skyder and her should be able to clean that up while I keep moving my troops towards the evac zone, because as soon as Skyder gets that, I have to move all my units towards the evac zone. So we'll just hack that, which means that those units with Overwatch are no longer able to fire.
Now we just need to get our operative to the evac point. Objective updated.
So there's nothing else to worry about except those two troopers on the roof right now, so now I just have to take them out with Helen and with Skyder. She should be able to get the flank on this guy by the skylight and finish him off. That close range, there's no way in hell she's going to be able to miss, so that should take him out.
No longer a threat.
So with Skyder's pistol, he will obviously easily be able to clean this guy up and should be able to make a pretty large move towards Sky Ranger on his next turn. Might have not been the best idea. I probably should have moved him towards the evac zone just in case something really bad happened. But again, I really want to try and feed him kills so I can get him up to a higher tier sniper as quickly as I can. So I'm speeding up here just because actually literally nothing happened on this turn. I'm just moving my troops towards the evac zone just to try and provide a screen for Skyder to kind of sprint through without worrying about taking any Overwatch shots, as I should be able to clean up anything that drops down very close to the evac zone by all my other soldiers on Overwatch. And again, just trying to keep their weapons as full as I can, taking as best advantage as I can of these quieter moments. So, so far so good, just again, setting up as much covering fire as I can, as well as trying to move my assault off the roof as well. Probably shouldn't have left Skyder kind of on the flank
So
right
now that
there,
the Exalt
but fortunately
reinforcements
the
moving
next
into
drop
position,
does actually
Commander.
happen forward of our position, so it shouldn't be too hard to take these guys out. Unfortunately, they're rather split up. However, Synox does have the reaction shot, and even though it clearly missed that Exalt Trooper by a mile, I guess the shockwave or something does liquefy him, so one less to worry about. So actually, if I do manage to get Skyder to the evac zone while all troopers are dead, that will end the mission. If some of Exalt was still alive, I could take them all out, or I could just move all my units to the evac zone, and that would still count as a completed mission. However, it is less experience because you are getting less kills. Although there's no real other benefit to killing Exalt. All you do is get their dropped weapons, which are only worth $1 a piece on the gray market. So I was trying to see if I needed to pop that guy's Overwatch. Unfortunately, Hall doesn't get it, so I'm going to have to either take the chance here with somebody, probably going to be Synox. I'm hoping that that will enable him to hit with a kinetic strike module, because I couldn't remember if it worked on the diagonal or not. And he doesn't fire, which is weird, because I thought he was in Overwatch. However, that does get the flank on him, so at that close range, there's no way that the robot can miss. So pretty much knocked that guy clean out of the map.
Almost out of ammo.
And with that, it's just a matter of moving Skyder up, so I'm actually just going to move him right here and skip over the next enemy turn as nothing else happened, and just move Skyder into the evac zone to finish off the
Excellent
mission.
work, Commander. Our operative and some valuable new intel are safe and sound.
Yeah, you can see Exalt missions are definitely different from the alien ones, as Exalt never even got off a single shot. I pretty much just routed them completely, and that's the power of the comm relays. The first mission isn't really a good example of how powerful Exalt can really be, and on the next mission, if it's one of the defense missions, you'll definitely see just how scary Exalt can really be in numbers.
Our troops really came through on
I was
this
really
one.
hoping
I'm
for more
glad
promotions as
everyone
well,
made it
because
back
as you can see,
safely.
Synox managed to get quite a few kills on that mission. Unfortunately, that's not enough to get him up to corporal level. On his next mission, he should be, as if he keeps performing like that, he's definitely going to find his way onto the A team. As for Cecilin, either Executioner or Opportunist. I decided to go with Opportunist because I find that snipers do a really, really good job at taking out enemies in one hit from full HP, so I really don't want to waste their powerful shots on something that has below half health anyway. And one more medal for the pile that I keep forgetting to give to people. Skyder thankfully does get an upgrade to a Lieutenant, and that actually does reduce panic by 1 in China, as well as give us $100, so I will be able to save the third satellite for a country that isn't China if I so decide once it gets finished. As you can see, not a lot of loot. I was hoping by some miracle a few alien alloys, but nothing really besides some weapons.
Unfortunately, it looks like this was just a
And as you might have noticed, the intel said that the Exalt HQ is east of the Atlantic Ocean, so that's basically the idea behind all the Exalt missions. Just as you do more and more of them, you narrow down the country the Exalt base is in until it's narrowed down to one, and then you can accuse that country of harboring Exalts, and then the Exalt HQ mission is available, which will completely take Exalt out of the rest of your run. And so at this point, I'm just selling off the Exalt weapons. There's no real benefit to them above the base XCOM kinetic weapons. Like, they do look and sound cool, I have to admit, but there's really no benefit to keeping them. And a little later on, Exalt will get laser weapons, which is kind of nice if you are trying to outfit your entire squad with laser weapons. But by that point, I find I've already upgraded to plasma. So at this point, there's nothing else I can really do except keep pushing forward and hope that something pops that'll allow me to rescue the United States from leaving the XCOM project. A couple of alloys from the pistol project, so that does take me 2 more alloys towards getting the skeleton key. I'm hoping maybe something else will pop that will maybe let me do the alien base mission. Nav computers do finish, which gets me the stealth satellites project as well as the satellite nexus. What the Nexus does, as you'll see in a second, it allows you to launch 4 satellites per Nexus, as opposed to, I believe, just the 2 satellites per satellite uplink. And it does get the +1 satellite for the adjacency bonus, and that's both with a Nexus or an uplink, so it's really good to get a kind of like a little square of 4 going with Nexus, and that will completely take away your worries about satellite coverage. And our next project will go with the power source, because I really want to get the Tier 2 mech upgrades going. And I've also noticed I have a lot of meld left over, so it's probably a good idea I start gene modding some other soldiers, so just give me a second while I figure out who I want to go with here. And I decide, might as well try to renew an upgrade on our assault, so I decided to give Heldon Hall the adrenal neural sympathy upgrade. So again, at this point, not a whole lot else I can do besides just keep moving the clock forward. I do quickly check out the Foundry project to see what I'm missing for everything else. Again, it's linked to a lot of alloys and flight computers and mutant corpses and God knows what else to keep moving my science forward, unfortunately. So it's quite enough that I do get these 3 satellites
We are ready to deploy it on your orders.
built. So now it's just a matter of deciding who I want to protect. Obviously Canada and Mexico, because I really don't want to lose a whole continent at the end of this month. And this will get me the air and space kind of bonus, which halves the build and maintenance cost of all aircraft and aircraft weapons. I probably should have gotten that before I spent all my money and alloys on interceptors and laser weapons, but that's okay. Now, I actually was wondering if I should go with the Europe bonus here, because I'm not too worried about China just yet, and I already have the Asia continent bonuses. That's where XCOM HQ is, over there in Japan, and it would get me 2 more scientists opposed to just 1 more engineer per month, so I actually decided now I'll go with it. And expert knowledge does have the maintenance cost on both workshops and laboratories, so that will increase the amount of money I get per month by more than just if I had gone with China. And at this point I'm just wondering like where else I should throw some interceptors, because I've noticed that my air defense is still quite lacking, and I'm very, very gun shy after the rather tremendous disaster that was that abductor over the US. And I notice I have 1 more laser cannon, so I upgrade this interceptor with it. Now, I'm really worried about Europe, because if you actually leave too many UFOs alone, they will start shooting down your satellites, and I'd like to keep the Europe bonus as long as I can. And just 1 more over Asia for good measure. There's no real benefit to throwing interceptors over continents where you don't have even 1 satellite, because you can't detect the UFOs without any satellites. As you can see there, the power source will give us an Illyrium generator, which is plus 30 power. I don't really like to use it, because I find if you can get a thermo generator going and get a couple of power generator adjacency bonuses, there's really no worry about power. And there you can see the Tier 2 mech is available now. So at this point it's just a wonder of what else I need, because there's not really a whole lot more I super need to research until I get the alien base completed, so maybe time to start looking into what the hell a sectoid is.
We've made a number of interesting discoveries based on the autopsy results of the alien specimen you brought back. The research team is now referring to this particular variation as a sectoid, based on the unusual structure of its internal organs, which we believe to be the product of genetic manipulation. As we've seen in the field, this species also seems to harbor some sort of telepathic ability.
Considering that 1 sectoid corpse has probably been here since the start of the XCOM project, that thing must be really ripe by now. In the meanwhile, let's just bandy on over to the council report after this gene modification pops anyway.
The adrenaline spike caused by killing an enemy can now be channeled into a hormone cloud, making it contagious.
And like I said before, this will increase the aim and will of all soldiers around the soldier who has that gene mod.
Incoming transmission.
Excellent work, Commander. This council is pleased to see our continued support of this project has been worthwhile. We hope that your current successes only mark the beginning of an enduring effort to eliminate the extraterrestrial threat.
So in case you're wondering why the US didn't up and leave, I actually looked into this because I didn't know about it. But turns out if a country has a satellite over it at the end of the month and they're at 5 panic, there is a chance that their panic will decrease from 5 to 4, and therefore they will not leave the XCOM project. So fortunately, my perfect run remains so, and this is as good of a time as any to end the mission here. Hopefully, shouldn't be too long of a gap between Mission 9 and Mission 10, just going through some pretty gnarly stuff right now in school and whatnot, so it might be a little bit late, but I will see what I can do. Alright, I will see you guys next time.